What page are we on?
So we are on page Shin Chof Tes.
Oh.
Shin Chof Tes Siv Dalet. So I want to recap what we spoke last week. We started to talk that there is Haskara and She'ela. In Shemon Esrei, there's mentioning Geshem, and then there's asking for Geshem. Haskara, to be maskir, is to mention. Mentioning that the Eibishter, Mishabeach the Eibishter for the koyach that he has to bring rain, Mashiv, Morid HaGeshem, that he's Morid Geshem. And then there is V'sein Mater, V'sein Talamater, V'sein Mater. It's a She'ela and Baruch Aleinu. So these are two different parts of the process. So before we do a She'ela, we have to do a Haskara to Mishabeach the Eibishter, that he has a koyach in bringing Shamim. So that's why we first start to say Mashiach HaGeshem, and only later on do we start saying Talamot al we start asking for rain, Akasha, She'ela.
And is it good science session?
So in Eretz Yisrael, Zayin Cheshvan, yeah.
Science.
Yeah. But in outside of Eretz Yisrael, we don't do Zayin Cheshvan. We do it 60 days after the equinox.
December 25, I think.
December 6th. No, December 4th or 5th. What's the cheshvan, the difference between the Zion cheshvan and the December day?
One is the Chazal say in Babel. In Babel, 60 days after the Tkufa. And in Eretz Yisrael, Zayin Cheshvan.
So Babel
has with the planting season. Yeah, because the planting season here by us is later. So we want to, the rain is here after we plant. The rain, during the winter, the rain rains on the ground and the water goes in, and then it grows after Pesach. Pesach time it grows. So the Zman, the planting season, is later on in Chutz La'aretz. Eretz Yisrael, the planting is earlier. Really, yeah. So that's why Eretz Yisrael. So after Zayin Cheshvan, if someone comes from Eretz Yisrael to here, he's already starting. He already said the same Talamater. So he has to say it here in Shemon Esrei, in his private Shemon Esrei. He says the same Talamater V'Racha. Because they started saying it there already. Now, we had a whole discussion. The Alter Rebbe explained why. First, Alter Rebbe explained why is this the Haskara of Morid HaGeshem. Why is it put inside the bracha of Tchias HaMesim? We said because it is compared to Tchias HaMesim. Shakuk Tchias HaMesim, Kishem Tchias HaMesim Chayim L'Olam, Kach HaGeshamim Chayim L'Olam.
We asked a question last week, remember? It was yesterday? No, Sunday. When were we doing this?
That's right. Last week?
Last Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah.
So what did we answer? You didn't have a chance to look at it.
No.
It's the HaGeshem. You didn't look at it.
What about this? About this Nakuda?
HaGeshem.
What was the question?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what the Gedimim is. There's a lot of things that are Chaim Lo'ilam. I don't know.
Right.
It's a Yerushalmi. We have to look it up.
I never had a chance to look at it.
I think we have. This probably doesn't set of Yerushalmi here. Talmud Yerushalmi. No? Oh, no. Okay. Where's the library today?
Muncie.
Muncie.
The service in Berkeley.
I'm starting with the Hebrew sections of our part.
If you have a chance in the Koyle to look at it.
Yeah, I have to remember. Yeah, Talmud Yerushalmi. Brachas Perakei Halacha Beis. Now, we also spoke about why we start doing Mashiach Morid HaGeshem on Shmini Atzeres. So really, you should start from the first day of Sukkot. Because Chag Sukkos, is a time when it says, the Mishnah says, B'chag nidoinim al hamayim. Sukkos is all about the water. What we say during Hoshana Rabbah is a lot about the water. We're talking in the Hashanis about Hashem bringing water. She give water b'schos this one, b'schos that one. We mentioned Chomin Ezachin about a connection with water. The whole Nisuch HaMayim pouring water on the Mizbeach only happens Sukkot.
Then we wouldn't be able to do a leiship of sukkah if the tefillahs are going to be here.
Oh, that's a good point. So that's the point. The Paiskim say that the Gemara says that because a HaGeshem simin klala b'chag, we don't want to have rain on Chag, so we don't do haskara of made HaGeshem on Sukkot. We wait till Shmini Atzeres.
Till after sukkah.
After Sukkot, the first after Sukkot Shmini Atzeres. Why don't we say it already by Morid? So because Morid, not as many people come to shul as during the day, so you're going to have some people are going to say it, some people are going to be home and they're not going to say it. So do it by day, by Shachris. Why don't we do it by Shachris? Why do we wait to Musaf? So because by Shachris you can't make a hefsik after Gal Yisrael and Shmoneh to the Gabbai Shashama should announce Masha V'Chomer HaGeshem like in the shuls. Can't announce it because you have to say Smichas Gula Tefillah. Say Gal Yisrael right next to Shmoneh. We don't make any hefsik. So you leave it to before Musaf. For Musaf, the Gabbai brings on the Bimba. And you know that now you have to start. However, we did explain something interesting. One is about the Seif Zman. When do we stop being maskir? Again, we're not discussing Sheila in Baruch Aleinu. That's a different story. This Simin, we're talking about Mashav Geshem. When the Siyum Hazman? Pesach. Pesach is the ending of the winter. Ending of Yemaisak Shamim. So Pesach time, when do we stop? The first day of Pesach. Why not by Ma'ariv? The same thing. Ma'ariv, you don't have everyone in the shul. So by Shachris the next day, also a problem. So we stop by Musaf. We announce Morid Hatol. Everyone knows the Shmoneh say now Morid Hatol. However, we said there's a problem that we have. The Ashkenazim
Don't say it.
Don't say Morid Hatol the whole summer because, we spoke that last week that Tal and Ruchos are not a chiyuv to mention. This that we say Masha V'Ruach, or we say Morid Hatol, or we say the same Tal. Tal and Ruchos are not a chiyuv to mention. Why? You never have a drought of a wind drought or a drought of dew. It's not a problem. Geshamim, you have a drought, so you don't need to add. We're not the Chachamim. We're not mechayiv to be maskir Tal and Ruchos. So this that we do mention it is minhagim. The minig Ashkenaz is if they don't say Morid Hatol in the summertime. Now, since they don't say Morid Hatol, how will we know when to stop saying Masha V'Chomer HaGeshem? By us, the Gabbai goes up and bangs on the beat and says Morid Hatol. So I know I'm not going to say Masha V'Ruach, I'm saying Morid Hatol. Ashkenazim don't say Morid Hatol, so what should the Gabbai announce? So the Gabbai should announce, no more rain. Don't say Masha V'Chomer HaGeshem. No more rain. Alter Rebbe says you don't say that. We don't say to Hashem. We don't make an announcement. No more rain.
Doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound good. We want rain in general. We don't want.
It's like a class.
The Chag it's a kolola, but the farmers need the rain. Maybe we don't walking on Avenue J. We don't want rain, but we don't have rain. We've been a big problem, right? In Eretz Yisrael, there's always issues with rain. If you remember, there was a big drought in South Africa for many years. And they even started making special tefillahs there, and they started making cuts on how much water you could use, and for your bath, for your lawn, for your washing machine. So rain, we're water. We live off water. So the Ashkenazim, they actually stop Masha V'Chomer HaGeshem the next tefillah by Mincha. Why? Because by the Chazaras Hashatz of Musaf on the first day of Pesach, he stopped saying Masha V'Ruach. So in the quiet Shmoneh Esrei, everyone is still saying Masha V'Chomer HaGeshem by Ashkenazim, not like us. When it comes to the Chazaras Hashatz, they're all listening, and they hear he stopped mentioning Masha V'Ruach, and that is their way how they know that now by Mincha they stop saying that they're quiet Shmoneh Esrei. But that's the difference between Ashkenazim and everyone else. Ashkenazim are still saying Masha V'Chomer HaGeshem in their quiet Shmoneh Esrei of Musaf of the first day Pesach. We, the Gabbai announced Morid Hatol, we know already in the Tefillah Balachash to stop. But they don't say Morid Hatol, so there's no Hachroza Morid Hatol. This is what I state.
Rabbi said before that Morid, that I have known so many people. Go to Rabbi Khan Morid, 10 o'clock at night, it's full. No,
Friday night, Yom Tov.
every
No, but he's
time.
saying at Yom Tov at night.
Don't
I
forget,
assume it's also there.
when Shulchan was reading, right,
100
many years ago,
years ago.
people didn't have like now.
They didn't have Rabbi Khan.
Lights out.
No, they didn't have a light in the street and this. They walk till it was dark, go home. That's it. There's no street, no light, no nothing. So it was very hard for them to go together to a shul. Shabbos they'll do it.
There are two zmanim for mincha. Mincha gedoyla, mincha ketana.
That the Chazal just says to fill in the
Ah, you mean something else? You mean Heiche Kedusha? Yeah.
We don't do it by Chabad.
Oh, you're saying that mincha they do a Heiche Kedusha. The Litvish should do it. Officially, it's supposed to be only a Shasat Chak.
Some professions.
That if you're,
The doctor's meeting my mind.
you probably should have to run.
I was in a place for first days of Yontif, and that first mincha I went to, they did a Hilchos and I was shocked.
Chassidim frowned at it a lot because they looked at it as cutting off of davening. So they looked at it, it's the whole idea. So they frowned on it.
You do 100 brachos, right?
There was there was something I heard from an older chassid who said it over from older chassidim, that he said that there is a stira in the psukim. We have in one pasuk it says al tan ksil kivaltei. When a ksil, a fool, says something foolish, don't answer him. And tishvalei, maybe you'll become like him. You become foolish. The other hand, Shlomo Melech said that tan ksil kivaltei. You should respond to the fool. And don't let him think that his foolishness is okay. So the Shulchan says the place can say, how do we answer up the stira? Do you answer? You not answer. Say depends. If it's about something which is divrei Torah, you have to tell him that he's wrong. If he's saying something foolish, otherwise he's going to think it's okay, and he's going to go telling people his foolish thoughts. So you have to let him know it's not correct what you're saying. However, if he's saying opinions about Biden, Trump, different things like that, al tank kivalta, you don't have to go answer the fool. Sishkin chiv to go and tell him. Maybe you're going to also start going back and forth, and it's going to. So this is what he said. Al tank. But Chassidim would say a little bit of play on it. They would say, there's things that the Vel does. The Vel does a Heiche Kedusha and a Heiche Baruch Hu. After Ma'ariv Miss Baruch Hu, they say Heiche Baruch Hu. So Chassidim don't say Heiche Baruch Hu and they say Heiche Kedusha. But which one is worse? So Chassidim would say like this: if it's a Heiche Baruch Hu, Tan Ksil Kivaldi, then you should answer. But a Heiche Kedusha, Al Tan Ksil Kivaldi. It's not a halacha din.
It's funny. Friday night, the Svardim have a Hesha Baruch at the end of Marav, but Ashkenazim don't.
Every Ma'ariv. No, we do it before Aleinu.
So
Before Aleinu, we do.
Ashkenazim do not have.
Guys were saying
Before Aleinu.
Ashkenazim do not have Friday night.
You just go ahead and make it.
Bob happened and you could have.
To the ultimate
It's not, but if people are talking Abraham,
ran to the road.
but Marav on Friday
The
night,
same mismo de David and Aleinu.
they go from the Kaddish. No, but man, they after Marav, and there's two Kaddish.
The full of gains of the Naya.
No, he said that
It's full.
Father said both for everything.
All basic
It's full.
So they said both for everything.
It's full.
It's full. So they only do nights. So it's a
Yeah.
kappa.
Ashkenaz, he's talking about Ashkenaz.
So how does the Ashkenazim bench towel?
How do they bench towel? They don't bench towel.
That's it. Only Geshem.
I don't think they bench towel. What, the Ashkenaz bench towel?
They don't say Merita towel. Most of them do.
Bench
They're
towel.
different. They're different Ashkenazim.
Who's the Ashkenaz? Do we have an Ashkenaz here?
Here we have all.
But does it have a machzer? Does it have shalosh or golem?
You're looking at a sitter.
They
looking for now.
to see how
I know
they
Chaim
bench Tal.
Berlin.
In
Chaim Berlin does say Morid
Pesach.
Zatal. Chaim Berlin does say Morid Zatal. They're not Nusach Ashkenaz.
They do?
Yeah, Chaim Berlin does.
So Chaim Berlin doesn't daven. They don't daven Nusach Ashkenaz. They
They
daven
do
Nusach
daven Nusach Ashkenaz, but they say Morid Zatal. The
Today,
different some don't and some do.
But years ago there was very few Nusach Ashkenaz shuls.
I
Because
think it's mostly
most
the
people,
Yakin
most of Yadus today was mushpa from Chassidus. So even Ashkenazim, they come from Chassidus, Chassidim who daven Nusach Svard. The yeshiva today, the Litvish yeshiva is trying to move it back and to institute Nusach Ashkenaz in the yeshiva, even though the families come from places where they daven Nusach Svard. Okay. Rabbi Isai, page Shin Chavtes Siv Dalet.
I never knew that. Thank you for teaching.
Important halacha. Im Omar Morid HaGeshem v'imois hachama machzin oisei. If you said Morid HaGeshem after Pesach, meaning on Pesach and on, you have to go back to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei. Shakshamim v'imois hachama einam ela simin klala. You don't need rain anymore. L'chein itzrichu lozeh shehisker klala b'tfilasei sheyachsev yispal b'loy klala. Oise bracha shehisker klala. Redo it again, that bracha, without it. Lefiha utzar lasa l'reish ha-bracha. Shem yachsev m'chalkol chayim lo yevatel b'zeh ma shehisker shalei kedin. Shekein dinah shal askara v'meis ha-gshamim lo yimeh m'chalkol chayim acha Morid HaGeshem. So you can't just go correct yourself. You said Morid HaGeshem, and you went for the Mechalkol Chayim b'Chesed. So we don't tell you just go back to the beginning of Mechalkol Chayim, because that's not going to take away what you said earlier. You go back to the beginning of the bracha. Now, v'mniska achach simas habracha. Happens if you remembered only after you said Baruch Atah Hashem Mechayim Hamesim. So lach l'reish hatfila. Shekol atoya be'eze bracha be'inyan shetzalach l'sakin to usay. V'loi chazer at shechaser bracha zu. L'dai loi sheyachse l'makom shetol l'sakin to usay. So lach l'reish habracha. You have to go back to the beginning of the bracha. And in this case, Gimel brachas Yishonis, Chashuva is kibracha achas. You have to go back to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei.
But why he said machzirim oto? Like they're saying for the chazan only.
You have to go back. You can't.
But only the chazan?
No, he's talking a yachid. A yachid.
How you know what yachid saying?
We don't.
You don't know what somebody next to me.
No, the yachid himself, not you watching somebody else.
He's asking on the lashon machzirin, means like others are machzir.
Oto.
Right.
It's one. Oto it's him. Who is him? Who's saying that? The chazan, I understand from here.
I hear. It's a good point. Maybe it means that when the people, when he asks the question, people ask, he asks a shayla, we tell them machzirin, you have to go back.
It doesn't say im she'al she'ela, say im omer. You're saying it. Who's saying it? One next to me, I don't hear him. Only the chazan said it. I think so. That's what I feel.
No. Each one have to individual have
So,
to.
why the lashon is machzirim oto? Machzirim otam. Whoever said it.
I don't know.
It's about Imam. Who is Imam? The Chazan or everybody?
I think the chazan.
No.
Why not?
I hear you,
Some
Shayla.
people-
I hear. I don't know. It's not talking about the chazan. I know it's
It's
talking
not,
about-
but
right, but the lashon
The
is
lashon
talking.
there.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm asking. It's a good deal. I don't know the answer. Sif hey. Filu b'zman shageshem eni simin klala. Shaliyot adayin nisan shel chama. The tkufas nisan is not yet over. Vafilu mtzrichim l'gsham machzin vafilu mtzrichim l'gshamim. Even if they do need rain at that time. Machzin oisei. Even Shirayv Hazman Shapoiskim Lahas Geshem HaGeshem Boisim in Klal. The Chilku Chacham of Amr Shemishal Shapoiskim Lahaskim Hiskim Achzin. They say, Ein Achanam, you're right. there may be in the Zman right after you stop saying Mashuruach, it's still not so terrible to say it. It's not a Siman Klali yet. But Chazal were not mechalik in the Zmanim. And they said, if we stop saying it, then don't. Then if you said it again, even that Zman is still not a Klala. But since Chazal said that we stop saying it, and you said it, and shortly later it's going to be a Siman Klala, so therefore you need to go back to the beginning of Shemona Esrei. We know there are places in the world down south, in South America, Australia, underneath the equator, that they need to have rain during our summertime. Meaning their winter.
By them is winter.
There is winter, so they need rain.
Brazil.
So he's saying, they always need rain during the summertime. And if you would have saved the same Talamatar in Baruch Aleinu, you don't go back. Only during Baruch Aleinu we say that if you're in a place that needs it, you could say the same Talamatar.
I think scholars say like a soil.
Yeah, no, they don't change like us.
Right, like us.
Yeah.
It's strange to say in the winter.
But if they need, you could put it in. If someone said it in Baruch Aleinu, you don't go back.
Yeah.
But Haskara is different than She'ela, he says. Shebeshe'ela mavakesh al artzoi. Haskara u'mashabech ala kadosh baruch hu shemeid HaGeshem. Sheloi be'itam shem simen kol artz tzol v'chayetze ba. Saying lachzer loimer oise bracha b'lei klala. He said it's a simen klala in Eretz Yisrael. So therefore, you're being meshabeach the Eibishter to be Morid HaGeshem in a time when Eretz Yisrael is a siman kalala. So if you need personally rain in your place and you add it, you say it in Baruch Aleinu, that's one thing. But meshabeach the Eibishter means like an inyan atzmi, that the Eibishter gives us rain. That is also connected to Eretz Yisrael. It's not about kasha. It's talking about the Eibishter.
It's like a score.
The haskara is a problem, and therefore, even in a place which needs rain, if it's during the summertime, you're not allowed to say Morid HaGeshem, and if you do, you have to go back to the beginning of Shemona.
If you make kavana,
If you forgot after the Chasimus HaBracha.
if you said Moshe Baruch Morid HaGeshem and you make kavana, only the places that they need rain. You take yourself. I said Moshe Baruch, and then in my head I said, places that need.
Somebody travels back and
He
forth.
said it doesn't work.
Keep on going back.
It doesn't work. Haskara, it doesn't work. You can't do haskara for a private country. Haskara has to follow Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael right now rains the Kalala. You can't be meshabeach the Eibishter about rain when Eretz Yisrael. But if you're asking Baruch Aleinu about kasha can be a kasha pratit, and this Eretz, so you're not chayzer.
Somebody travels back and forth to places that do need rain, some don't, and they go back and forth.
What should he do?
The pastor is here, Benzi. Because you're asking what you need in that place. And then, let's say in Israel, it doesn't say, but you go to Brazil, it's going over there, it's going to say yeah.
Because let's say in South America, it's becoming summertime,
All right.
right? Because it's on the other side of the.
Question is, the shluchim are going to be coming in for the kinnis shluchim.
Tell me an
The
astronaut.
shluchim, when they come in, they're already been saying the same Talamatar,
They're going to say
because Zayin Cheshvan, in 7 days, they're going to be saying
Right.
it. When they come here, we still have not yet started saying it, because it's only December 4th, December 5th.
Nevertheless,
So they're going to come here, and then they're going to go back. So the din is, they say that if once they started, they don't change when
They
they
don't
come
change.
here. The question will be when they come to daven if they want to daven for the Amud.
So on quiet
I
one,
think that they have to say
belachash.
the lachash they do like they do in Eretz
I
Yisrael.
know when I was shivering for my father, here for my father, I came from Eretz Israel, and the Lord told me like that. And the lachash say like Eretz Israel, and do chazon zashas do like the people. That's the thing.
When you go to Rome, you act like the Rome. But there they say,
No,
be careful.
because I already start, you don't go back. Because I already started Eretz Israel, you don't go back.
Yeah.
An astronaut, you think he has to daven Shachos Mincha Marav 3 times a day?
Yeah, they're very busy.
They're very busy.
Every 90 minutes.
Every 80 minutes.
Every 90 minutes is a day.
Yeah, so he has to constantly daven.
It's good.
The guys who
It's
say,
sure.
Shemaim, Shemaim, Hashem, Hashem,
There's no time to do the
What are you
experiments.
doing up
He
there?
doesn't have time to put for tefillin. Every time you put it, it's all the shit is.
Yeah, but that's not considered Shemayim.
Who is wearing fourth
That's
pairs?
considered Earth.
I'm saying astronaut they go every 90 minutes. It's 24 hours for him. So when he has time to put for tefillin.
There was a lot of tshuvas written about this when Ivan Ramon
He took it in the fetus.
Shalom wanted to go up. So then he wanted to, even though he wasn't
It wasn't formal.
it wasn't from, but he wanted, it was very traditional, he felt very strong, he wanted to keep mitzvahs. He wanted to be the first person to keep mitzvahs.
I think it was
Space.
Hanukkah time. To take a Hanukkah.
There were a lot of shilas then were
What time is
written to the Rabbanim. How should he do Kiddush? And so he wanted to be the one to do all these things. He took a Sefer Torah, you remember, with him.
Mm-hmm.
It exploded.
That's Kiddush Hashem, huh?
It was
Yeah,
it was the Holocaust survivor of Torah.
The Jews
They
are allowed to
exploded.
use faith.
Somebody had a Sefer Torah Katan.
He wasn't that shilah, he didn't ask.
And he took it with him. But when
I
it
heard
exploded,
sure that's
not
why
it's
he
a
wasn't taking Torah.
Yeah.
He was not allowed to take the Torah. He wasn't allowed to be in space.
I don't know. The reasons of Hashem, I don't know. But I don't know if you're allowed to take a Sefer Torah out from a mocking where there's no there's no minyan, there's no take a Sefer Torah. It's a good question.
And look
Was
what
it
happened.
possible this
His
Sefer
son
Torah?
died the Mishum Shana.
Good to know, good to know.
He did, yeah?
Yeah. He died of Yenuach, and his son died also in the crash. He was also a pilot.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
The family is that?
It was a curse on the family.
I didn't know this. Okay.
Like the person from the
Oh, right.
Sivav.
Makes sense.
Now this was about during the summertime that if you mention Geshem in the summer, it's a siman klala, you have to go back and correct yourself. And if you finish the brach, you got to go back to the beginning of Shemon Esrei. That's the summertime halacha, but we need to know now. We make a mistake and we say Morid Hatol, what's the din?
the winter.
And Ashkenazim, they don't say Morid Hatol. So if they don't say Mashvarach HaMegeshem, they're saying nothing. So
No
what's
mistake.
the halacha? Their mistake is that they don't say it, not that they say Morid Hatol. So what's the halacha? Sivav.
Why is this a follow if you say Matthew by the Geshem in summertime?
Summertime is not the rain season. So you're not supposed to be maskir during the rain season. What rain? So if you by mistake said Morid Geshem, you have to go back because it's not as man for. It's like having a rain on Sukkot. It's not as man. The planting season is the planting season is already over. The plants have grown, and now's the time of the summer. We don't want rain in the summer. And rain is going to ruin because they have all the produce is all out drying out in the fields and everything, and it's not a time when you want rain.
And if you say Morid Hatol,
Vice versa. Now that's the question which is negaya for us now. Sivav. During the winter time, Im loy amar Morid HaGeshem, you did not say Morid HaGeshem. Filu amar Morid HaShur, he said the two words Mashavarach. Machzin, I say, you have to go back. You have to mention Geshem and Gesham. Woohoo, shali hisker tal. It's only in a case where you didn't mention tal. But if you made a mistake, you didn't make Geshem, but you still mentioned tal. Hisker tal, ein machzin oisei afilo sim habracha. Chiddush. Even you didn't complete the bracha. So you can go back and correct yourself. You didn't complete the bracha. You're still Yaitza. Why? Tal is not something that's so vital. So what's the big? So I mentioned tal. Tal ain't in netzer. Tal never stops.
All the time.
Mikomakim shevach hula kadosh baruch hu bahaskarasei kimoi bahaskaras HaGeshem. Shem shak shamim chayim lo'ilam kach hatal uchayim lo'ilam. Sheidei kach misbareches hatua. The tal brings bracha in the produce. The tal is the power of bringing life. So now, if he made it, what is he saying? He made a mistake. He said Morid Hatol instead of Masha Baruch, which that's what we would do because we're always used to saying either Morid Hatol Masha Baruch. If you don't say Masha Baruch Morid HaGeshem, we're saying Morid Hatol. You don't go back because he said Hashavach Takadosh Baruch Hu. Morid Hatol. It's not a klala. It's a Hashavach Takadosh Baruch Hu. Morid Hatol. Lakach yesh b'nei adam shemaskim lehatal kol yimei sachamo. כדי שהם ישקו למן הגשם, יש הגשמים חזקה שאומר מן התול, כמו שמגיעים לצלחם, הם מחזירים לא יסון. The Alter Rebbe points out that this is why the minig Sfard is that we say Morid Hatol during the summer. Because then if we make a mistake during the winter, we don't say Morid HaGeshem, we're automatically going to say Morid Hatol. And once you made Atol, you don't have to go back to Shemoneh Esrei. So practical halacha, throughout this winter, anytime we don't say, anyone who's not davening Nusach Ashkenaz, if he's going to make a mistake, he's going to be saying Morid Hatol. Morid Hatol b'diavad yoytze. So you don't have to go back to Shemoneh Esrei. It's only when you say Masha Baruch Morid HaGeshem in the summer, when you're not supposed to say it, it's Siman Klal, then you have to go back. But during the winter, if you miss out Geshem, it's nothing wrong. There's no kolala when you say Tal, and Tal is a shevach of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. So you're Yaitza.
What happened if he didn't say anything? Not Morid Hatol, not Masha Baruch.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's an Ashkenazim have this problem.
If you didn't say anything,
You have to go back. And then you have to go back. If you missed it out, you have to go back. We have it easier than those that have Nusach Ashkenaz in the winter, because if we made a slip of the tongue, we're just backtracking to what we say during the summer, Morid Hatol, and b'diavad yoytze Morid Hatol. But Ashkenazim who don't say Morid Hatol, if they didn't say Morid HaGeshem, it means that they didn't say anything. You don't say anything, then you have to go back. Kalar. Siv Zayin. When we say that you have to go back, when you didn't mention Geshem or Tal in the winter, well, you should feel if you finished the bracha and got into the next bracha. Chazal never told us where specifically in the bracha Machayim Mesim we have to say Masha Geshem. So therefore, wherever you said it, even if you remembered right before Baruch Hashem Machayim Mesim, it's not before Machal Kol Chayim like we usually say, you're still Yaitza. L'shana guloim l'fnei Machal Kol Chayim shageshem kakola uparnasa. Havoloi amrei l'fnei Machal Kol Chayim b'chol habracha mekoyma.
Anywhere did you say?
Anywhere. Filim siyam bracha when it's a kodesh. Bigger chiddush. You finished the bracha. Baruch Atah Hashem Mechayim Mesim, but you did not say yet the words Ata Kaddish in the next bracha. Ein Sarich Lachsel Roish. Ala Yomer Mashavach HaGeshem Beloy Chasima. V'shum Omer Ata Kaddish. Shaloi Kol Shali Hiskol Bracha Shalachrea. Le'nikresim Bracha Zu Legamri. Le'in Dvarim Shemachzin Loisoi.
The Chatim.
V'shenikresim Le'in Dvarim She'im Machzin Loisoi. Kin Avdala B'chin Adas. V'yalvi Yavei V'arves Shchodesh Im Alma Mkshisim Bracha. Hiskol Bracha Shalachrea. Rebbe lays down a rule. If you did not yet say the words Ata Kaddish, you could say right there, Mashavach HaGeshem. Again, we don't have this problem because we're all going to say Meir Hatol anyways. But for someone who's Noyeg Minig Ashkenaz, if he remembers to be cool to say Mashavach HaGeshem, even after the bracha finished, but he didn't yet start the next bracha, he could say it right there. And the Alter Rebbe is mechalik between when we consider finishing a bracha, the ending, you can't go back, like Yalav Yavi. The Yalav Yavi, once we say Baruch Hashem Master Shenasa, you can't go back to Yalav Yavi. Or Ata Chaynin, when Havdalah, right? Ata Chaynin Das. Right? We Ata Havdalah, right? If you say Baruch Hashem Chaynin Hadas, you don't go back. Even I didn't.
Havdalah afterwards. That's why.
Even right, we have right, and Yalav Yaveh by Ma'ariv Rish Chodesh, you don't go back because it's Ma'ariv Rish Chodesh. You know why by Yalav Yaveh we only go back by day and not by night?
There's no people coming there tomorrow.
Because in the Sanhedrin would not be Mekadesh the Chodesh Balayla. So our mentioning the Yalav Yaveh and Shonetri is like sort of like Klal Yisrael Sanhedrin, where sort of like the Bezin, we're announcing when Rish Chodesh is. So the din is that Chacham would only have the koyach to make it when Rish Chodesh is. They would say Mekudesh, they're Makabel Edus when
Only
it was
the day.
only by day. If it turned night, they didn't say Mekudesh. You have to push off to another day. The month will have two days of Chodesh. So therefore, by the night Shemon Esrei, if you miss the Alav Yaveh, you don't go back. Right, you don't go back. So anything which you don't have to go back for, if you forgot and you remembered after the Chasimas Abracha, it's finished. You can't go back. Because l'chatchila it's not such a strong chiyuv. Masha'in kain, something like Mashavach HaGeshem, if you forgot, and as well you didn't say Meir Hatol. So then if you remember after the Sima Bracha, you're allowed to go back.
Right. So nothing I would say that by
No? See.
You look at Mashkana now.
Yeah. That's why I bought it. I never saw this either before. Never pay attention.
But there's no Shalosh Agalim here, yeah? No, maybe there is. They do have.
Special tefillah of Adam.
Yeah,
Okay,
they have a tefillas tal. I see. That's right. Pettis is right. They have a tefillas tal.
What did
But-
mention it?
They talk. It's the same thing as our tefillas tal.
The bracha klala, but
Basically,
Basically the same.
basically the same. You know, talyasis and everything, but they don't say. Oh, they actually do say Mashav Ruach. They actually say Mashav Ruach Hamed Hatol, but they don't continue saying it throughout the whole.
so they only say Masha Baruch Hatal once.
That's right. They only say it one time.
On one time on Yantif.
Yeah, Shulchan Aruch doesn't mention this.
For the whole half the year. Yeah, it's for the whole half the year.
It's saying one time for the whole time.
But look at this, it's not bringing nothing. Look at before, it doesn't bring nothing.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
goes straight. The page before.
yeah. So
No, the two people parrots.
well, the writing's okay from 70, 75.
Still need two more people.
Okay, but I'm ready to stay.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Shin Lamedat.
Sivches. We said earlier that if you made a mistake and you, let's say in the summertime, you said Mashavuch Morid HaGeshem in the summer, and you didn't remember it after you finished the bracha, and you started the next at the Kaddish, you have to go back to not just the beginning of that bracha, to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei, because the first three brachas of Shemoneh Esrei are one unit. So we'll talk about that a little more now in Sivches. Gimel brachas v'shonis chashuves ke'achas. Why? Hoyel ve'inyanam echad. It's one idea. L'sader shivchoy shel mokim koidem she'eloi strachav. Ke'eved she'mesader shevach l'fein rabbi koidem she'mevakesh prasim minham. Like a servant before his master, and before he asks for something,
He praise him.
he praises him. So, the three last brachas Shemoneh Esrei are considered one unit. He already got what he asked for, and now he's departing. So does they have the same toich in all three of them? The in any area, he made a mistake that's ma'akiv in the first three brachas. Over Gimel Achroines, you go back to the first of the Gimel brachas, which is avoida. Bein shu yachid, bein shu tzibur. Doesn't matter what's a yachid, but tzibur, you go back. Imu ta'ol shi efshel sakne. If it's a ta'ol that you cannot correct.
Yeah, the is part of the three.
Elokein yasel reish habracha shetaba, kishetaba chasim masa.
Is Yalav part of the last three brachas? No,
Yes,
it is.
yes,
It's part. It's what Ritzay is part of the last. Brachas.
yeah. Shechasim habracha zu be'inyan bracha acheres. He gives an example. You made a mistake in the ending of a certain bracha in Shemoneh Esrei. That either chasima, you gave it a chasima of a different bracha. Oy shechasim akel HaKadosh v'seres mitzvah. When this ge'achat teich de dibur, she afshel the second tusi, she yachs b'yachtim kehoigen shein chazar me'el teich de dibur. What happens if, for example, the seres mitzvah, you said akel HaKadosh, not a melech HaKadosh,
But you said,
and you did not right away correct yourself teich de dibur. So now you got to go back. Do we go back to the beginning of Ata Kodesh or back to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei? Go back to the beginning of Shemoneh Esrei, which is all one unit. Chayotze b'zeh, and the same halacha is the brachas imtzayis, the middle brachas, if you made a mistake. So last Reish brachas, you go back to the beginning of this bracha.
so the Shemoneh Esrei is broken up into three halach. First three, the rest, the middle, each one is separate, and the last three is another unit. Correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. You're praising Hashem, and then you're thanking Hashem, and you're leaving Him. He's going to explain other mistakes that you made that will make you go back to the beginning of a bracha, or the beginning of all three brachas, if it's the first to last three. Who adinim chasim kaigen, even if you did make the chasim of the bracha properly, ela shakol nusach abracha ad achsima omer nusach acher, or you said a whole different nusach till the ending. Instead of saying atachayin, you said achzirenu, and then you finish by Hashem chen hadas. The chasima was good, but the whole middle was no good.
If you do
That, let's say you
skip a bracha.
you say the right chasima of the bracha you're holding, but the whole psicha is from another bracha, and you didn't remember till you finished the chasima. Or the opposite. Shalem Shumnas Tchila Raka Chasim Bada Shin Shama Brachazul Mabea Kfatzer. The Bichs Apedes Hamitzvah B'Chas and he Chasimas and Vishina Matvesh Tav Chama Brachz Yatzei Chavase. Or another mistake you made. What happens if you didn't say the whole psicha until Baruch Atah Hashem? You skipped it out. You just said Baruch Hashem Chen Hadas, Baruch Hashem Haseinu V'Shuva. You didn't say the whole thing. You made basically the Baruch Hashem and that's saying to short brachas. Like the brachas of a bridge version, like brachas Apedes, like a Shak and Dvari, and like a mitzvah, which those brachas, Sichos and Hi Chasimas, and there is no the beginning and the end. The beginning is the end. It's a one-liner.
The soldiers have an exception. That's a halacha, correct? Soldier.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
So in this case, you changed from the way Chacham set up the bracha. If you change from the Matbeah Shetavu Chachamim, the Yasei Chivas, so last of the Reish Bracha Zu, Imi Birchas Amtzait, if it's the middle Bracha Shmonesrei, or the Gimel Shainis, so the last of the Reish, the beginning of Shmonesrei, the Gimel Achreinis, La Avaida. We don't need to tell you that this idea would apply in a case where you missed the entire bracha. But in this gad simas bracha shalachrei, shaloikin kshiyemer mavakish in this gad leashniya ketals beemsa. Then it's like a mistake that you made in the middle.
You skip the whole bracha, so you go back to the first one.
Yeah. Avalim dilig be'emtza. In the middle of the bracha, you skipped out. You said the psicha of the bracha. You said the chsima. You missed a line in the middle. Yesterday.
Very sandwich.
And even if you said in the middle, you swapped it for another bracha, we don't go back. Why? Kol shechosam kehoigen. As long as you seal the bracha appropriately. V'amar kedem bracha is a bakasha k'inyan bracha zu. V'amar b'lashem etikun chachamim. Kishir. Kishuna. Chachamim. Einoi nikra mashana mateish tav chachamim brachis. Shenikra mashana mateish tav chachamim shemashana b'psif chasan oibich t'sil masan bebrachis shechoyses barach peises barach. O brachis yichesh shechoyses bebarach ve'im peises barach afen shini psif chasan v'am b'lashon acher b'ingin ha-bracha dini kilu shini be'emtza bracha she'im brachis smuches zo zo. The
main thing you should say at the beginning and the end.
The main thing you read in the Siddur, not by heart. You cannot make these mistakes.
So, important thing what he's bringing out over here is that
It's only one. As long as the first word is good, then it's fine. First word of the chasima.
That's what he means.
That's psicha and the
Shmoneh also.
What's he referring to?
I don't know. The very ending starts saying that brachas is chesh cheis mebarach ve'einem pais cheis mebarach afim shin psichaso amar v'lashon acher be'ingen ha-bracha dini kilu shina ba'emtza bracha shin bracha smucha zo zo.
It's at the Chonet. It doesn't start with the Baruch.
Right.
Is it Atachayin and Rafein Hashem?
Yeah.
Made a sandwich.
How you can make such a mistake if you read the Siddur?
It's thinking about the stock market.
Two pages would stuck together and it's Monas and it was saying
Another way.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
It seems like he wants to be makel with the beginning of the brachas Shemon Esrei, because all the brachas Shemon Esrei we spoke last week, all consider brachas smucha lechaverta. There's no baruch. They're all relying on the first baruch of Shemon Esrei. That's it. There's no baruch ata, any psicha in all the brachas. So therefore, the Alter Rebbe explains that even the psicha of the bracha has the status of emsa bracha. Shemon Esrei. Seems that he's saying that, even though the beginning seemed to be differently. Now he's saying the ending.
You come with
It's not a problem.
If you skip the whole Moedim,
Oh, you
you're okay because you're saying the Cholachayim, right?
we have eight.
What do you mean?
That's what it's mashma here.
Inshallah.
If you go with Sechel Zena,
Halacha v'leila ma'aseh.
you don't say Moedim and you don't jump to
Look it over again.
the Cholachayim.
Yeah, sure.
What's with the new location?
He started with Ritzay.
Oh wow!
He started with the Sechel
A
Zena.
company.
You have, but you don't. Yeah,
Don't buy a company. Which tree?
Palm trees.
Everything. Keep it.
Palm trees.
What?
In Tamser. It's a small, Tamser.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, it's tree service.
oh,
So the whole day was there with the truck and took away
do they have permits yet?
the bag also.
Where?
Do you need permits to cut down the trees?
That's a big job.
Where?
It's a private.
What? Where?
No, once it's a new field, you don't have to.
Shakayach everyone for joining. Rabbi
Once
Davis.
it's a new property, you don't have to ask permission.
Shakayach for always joining us.
You want.
All right, thank you.
Still me,
I appreciate that you're joining the shir.
we have